final phase of a local trail just got shorter and cheaper.
Colder weather returns to East Alabama. How long will it last? We'll have the complete forecast details coming up.
Coming up in sports, a local coach has officially resigned from a local program. The Anniston Bulldog girls basketball team saw their season come to an end, and we have a recap of baseball and softball last night here in East Alabama. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Mike Stetter.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
A divided Anniston City Council voted Tuesday night to cut its budget for the last leg of the Chief Ladiga Trail from $7.26 million down to just over $6 million. Councilman Jay Jenkins says he met last week with a consulting engineer for the project who proposed several modifications in the plans, and that will mean a total savings of $669,000. The most noticeable change for the public will be ending the trail at 11th Street instead of 4th Street as originally planned. Jenkins says the rest of the budget shortfall, that's about $500,000, will come from the city postponing a parking lot that was happening at 12th and Noble Street.
I recommend that we put a pause button on that until we know kind of where we stand with, I know Mr. Folks and the mayor and others have reached to state and federal partners to try to help find some funding for that, and I firmly believe we will, but we don't have that funding in hand right now, and I think it's prudent for us to hold. We have $500,000 budgeted for that parking lot. I think it's prudent for us to hold that in check until we know where we stand on federal and state participation in the trail project.
The council accepted Jenkins' proposed changes in the Ladiga Trail construction, and then by a vote of 4-1, it approved spending $6,091,000 for the final 7 miles of the trail. The negative vote came from Councilwoman Ciara Smith, who says that while she approves of the trail project, she believes it will cut too deeply into the city's budget reserves.
The fact remains that if we agree to this and we get no funding from our congressional members, we are in violation of our own ordinance. We will not have the 17% that was signed several years ago. It is what it is at that point. I understand the reasoning in wanting to make this happen. I'm not saying that it shouldn't happen. My reservations are purely based off of fiscal responsibility, and I don't think that this is being fiscally responsible. Now, if we do get the funding from our congressional members and we're able to do these proposed savings, we're essentially not going to have to take out of our reserves as much as we are now. And that is my hope in all of this.
After the council approved the amended project and agreed to shift the money away from the parking lot, Mayor Jack Draper said he's confident that the final portion of the Ladiga Trail will be worth the investment the city is making.
I understand everyone's concerns. I really do. This is incredibly expensive. I get that. At the same time, I believe that the city's future economic development is contingent upon the completion of this trail. This would be not only an economic boon to Anniston businesses, regional businesses, but it will be a boon to our own general fund via sales tax revenue. And I'm confident that our sales tax revenue will increase by virtue of the construction of this trail.
And when we come back, matches were being made this afternoon at the Anniston Job Fair.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Employers met potential employees this afternoon at the 3rd annual Anniston Job Fair. More than 50 businesses, governments, and nonprofit agencies filled the main hall of the City Meeting Center, offering job interviews to people looking for work. Those attending also included people who have jobs but are seeking better opportunities. This event is hosted by the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce and the Calhoun County Economic Development Council in partnership with the City of Anniston. When we come back, Hobson City has a special program planned for this weekend.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
The town of Hobson City will host its annual Black History Celebration and Soul Food Dinner on Saturday at 3 p.m. at the Hutchins Community Center on Martin Luther King Drive. This year's theme is African Americans and the Arts, and the keynote speaker will be Renee Kemp Roten, an urban designer and master planner who is CEO of her own company.
The city of Anniston will be adding an extra twist to one of its Easter egg hunts this year: flashlights. A flashlight Easter egg hunt will be held at 7 p.m. on March 28th at Anniston's Youth Sports Complex on McClellan. The cost of admission is $5 per child. Parents need to bring a basket or bag to collect the eggs, along with a flashlight. Also at the complex that evening will be a bounce house, face painting, food, music, and door prizes. The Easter Bunny will also be there to take photos with the children.
Have you ever been to a flashlight egg hunt?
I have never.
It is so much fun.
It sounds like fun, but isn't it like really difficult to find?
Well, no, they just work it out. The children will find the eggs.
And flashlights are always fun to play with.
They really are.
That's
they really are.
point.
Hey, listen, I don't know if you noticed, but after that rain came through today, it was kind of like, I read a meme on social media that said winter is like that person that is having an argument and keeps storming back into the room saying, and another thing. I really felt like that's what winter did today.
So winter has stormed back in. Will he be gone for good?
Well, let's check with John Holder, who joins us now in the EAN Weather Center to tell us more. John?
Well, Mike and Katie, we're going to see colder temperatures for the next couple of days, but we're right back to above normal temps by the weekend. We'll break down the complete forecast for all of East Alabama next.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
It was a day of quick changes across East Alabama. We began with dry conditions and very warm temperatures this morning, soaring to 72 degrees by about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Then the cold front came to East Alabama, and with those showers and thunderstorms, the temperatures cooled off, and then they really cooled off as the front passed through. Temperatures dropping from 72 to 52 in about 3 hours this afternoon. Temperatures really didn't move much until this afternoon. This morning, we were very, very warm, almost 30 degrees above average this morning, 68 for the low. Didn't rise very much, and now the temperatures are dropping back down to actually below normal for this time of year. There's the record high temperature, 81, the record low, 16. Sun rising now at 6:12 tomorrow morning, and the sun setting at 5:39. Weather on your street tonight? On James Street in Piedmont, right off Alabama Highway 9 north of town and Little Subdivision. it is going to be cold tonight. Cloudy and cold. Winds should subside as we move through the evening hours tonight. It's going to be breezy out there until about midnight or so. We're dropping down to 33. Most folks should stay above freezing. Tomorrow, we'll squeeze in a dry day. This may be our last totally dry day for a while out on Laurel Trace and Chocowacca. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. Temperatures below normal by a few degrees at 56 degrees with a mix of clouds and sunshine. And as we start the weekend in that Friday, Saturday time frame, a cold rain coming to Eagle Ridge out in Alexandria. Temperatures in the 50s. As a matter of fact, we will struggle to even reach 50 degrees with that rain coming up on Friday. Here is your 7-day forecast for all of East Alabama. As you can tell, the only dry day guaranteed is coming up tomorrow, then a 100% chance of rain on Friday. We go from 0 tomorrow to 100 on Friday. Look at that high temperature, only 50 degrees, about 10 or 12 degrees below the average for this time of year. But it doesn't last long. Saturday, about a 1 in 3 chance of a shower. We're back above average in the mid-60s. By Sunday, we're back in the lower 70s across East Alabama, and more 70s coming behind that. Starting off the work week next week, we are at 73 on Monday. Again, 70s on Tuesday. Another really good chance of rain, maybe some thunderstorms in here on Wednesday of next week. But again, temperatures for the most part from Saturday onward are going to be above average, both for daytime highs and for nighttime lows. Speaking of nighttime lows, we're not going to see much more of this. We are about to flip the calendar over to March, so we're not going to see a whole lot of temperatures like this coming as we move towards springtime. But tonight, it's going to be cold across the great state of Alabama. Some folks will be at freezing or below. Here in East Alabama, maybe right at freezing in Gadsden, a temperature, or I should say a degree or two above that in Anniston. Most folks will be in the low 30s this morning, but no big deal with that. We're going to bounce back very, very quickly as we make our way toward the weekend. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. We'll have a complete look at your day ahead coming up for your Thursday, and I'll be back here tomorrow evening for EAN Local News as we'll have the complete weekend forecast coming up tomorrow evening, and we'll have that all coming up for you here on EAN Local News. Right now, it's sports time. They're looking for a new head football coach in Cleburne County. Namath Pitts has the details next in sports.
Thanks, John. There has been buzz for over a week now that a certain East Alabama team is going to begin looking for a new head football coach. Well, that buzz is true. After 5 seasons at Cleburne County, Joby Burns has resigned from his duties as the head football coach. Coach Burns came to Cleburne County from Clay Central, where he was a coordinator. In 5 seasons at Cleburne County, Joby Burns went 16-35 while making the playoffs only once. Cleburne County has had some historical players and coaches that have come through their program. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here. The Anniston Bulldogs girls were the only local team in Calhoun County to make it to Birmingham for the Final Four, but unfortunately their season has come to an end. Eddie Bullock knew that this team was capable of making it to Birmingham, and they did. This marked the 9th time that Eddie Bullock had made the Final Four. Anniston led by as many as 11 points at one point, but could not hold on as T.R. Miller came back to win 33-28. Anniston ends the season with a 29-4 record. Senior Serena Hardy was the leading scorer for Anniston with 8 points, and Jada Fomby had 6 steals for the Bulldogs. The rain held off long enough last night for teams in the area to get in some baseball action. We have the scores in recap from last night. It was a tie game in the 6th inning when Alexandria scored 3 runs to break the tie and earn a win over rival Jacksonville. Evan Snow had a perfect day at the plate, going 3 for 3 with a double and scoring 3 runs. Samuel Henniger and Brody each had 3 runs batted in each. Henniger went 2 for 4 at the plate as Alexandria beat Jacksonville 10-7. Weaver opened their season at Ohatchee last night, but it was Jake Robertson and Tyler Green who each racked up 3 runs batted in apiece as Ohatchee took a 5-inning run rule win over Weaver. Robinson finished 2 for 3 with a double and scored twice, while Green went 2 for 4 with a double and scored once. Xavier Luna finished 3 for 4 with a pair of triples, scoring twice and totaling 2 runs batted in, while Will Folsom went 2 for 4 with a triple, scoring twice and driving in a run. Connor Hyatt went 2 for 2 with a run batted in for Weaver, while Trayson Jones hit a triple. Weaver drops their first game of the season as Ohatchee wins 16-6. Revenge was sweet last night as White Plains flipped the script against Clay Central. Ashton Wallace and Aiden Kilgore each had 2 hits apiece as White Plains took a 5-inning run rule win against Clay Central. White Plains moves to 4-4 on the season. Designated hitter Flynn Tillison and catcher Dalton Luker each had 2 runs batted in apiece, while Wallace had 1 of his own. Luker and Cooper Tinney each had a double for the Wildcats. They also got a pair of extra base hits. Coleman Ray, who had not pitched in 22 months before this season, got the opportunity last night, pitched all 5 innings in the win, allowing 6 hits and 2 earned runs while walking 3 and striking out 6 as White Plains dominated Clay Central 12-2. The bat was hot for Pleasant Valley as 7 Pleasant Valley players had 2 hits each as Pleasant Valley took a 5-inning run rule win over Sachs. Will Underwood led Pleasant Valley with 3 runs batted in the win, while Sam Duncan, John Garrett Bryant, and Holt Bentley each finished with 2. Bentley, Bryant, Peyton Mann, and Caleb Shue each hit a double for the Raiders. Bryant got the start on the mound for Pleasant Valley, allowing 1 hit and 1 earned run across 3 innings. He walked 3 and struck out 4 as Pleasant Valley won 20-3. The trend for Welborn seems to be losing midweek games and winning on the weekend. Faith Christian put together 11 hits and benefited from 7 errors and 7 walks from Welborn. Carson Harris had a double and 4 runs batted in. Vincent Montgomery, Cash Sharma, and Jaden Smith had 2 hits apiece. Smith also had 2 runs batted in, and Montgomery and Vincent drove in a run apiece. Vincent scored 4 runs, Sharma 2, and Smith 1. On the bright side for Welborn, Isaiah Amberson, who is only a freshman, went 2 for 2 with a run and a run batted in. Liam Avery and Ashton Woodard each had a single and a run batted in, and Brennan Talley hit a double and scored a run. Talley took the loss on the mound as he goes 0 for 2 on the season on the mound as Faith Christian beat Welborn 16-5. Last night was the 3rd time that Alexandria and White Plains have played this season in softball. Ohatchee improved to 10-1 on the season. Pleasant Valley won, while Oxford and Sachs both lost. We have the results from softball last night right here in East Alabama. It came down to Reese Stewart in the 6th inning, and she capitalized with a 2-out RBI single to score Savannah Reese, which would ultimately lift Ohatchee to a win over Lincoln. Ohatchee now moves to 10-1 on the season with the win. Brianna Martin led Ohatchee with 3 hits and 3 runs batted in the win, while Briley Meyer went 2 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs. Ohatchee stays red hot with a 7-6 win over Lincoln. The trend for Alexandria seems to be Alyssa Hunt home runs. Hunt hit her 4th home run in 6 games as Alexandria took a win against Coach Muncher in White Plains last night. The Valley Cubs moved to 5-1 on the season with their only loss being to White Plains this past weekend. Hunt led the team in both RBIs with 3 and runs scored with 3 while hitting a game-ending 3-run home run to left field that drove in Christian Hess and Clancy Bryant. Alexandria dominated White Plains as they win 11-0. Coach Bryant feels good about the Raiders and the team he has this year, and Gracie Ward hit a home run and piled on 3 runs batted in last night as Pleasant Valley took a road win against in-county opponent Jacksonville. Ward went 2 for 5 and scored twice in the victory. Lily Henry and Lily Robinson led the Raiders with 3 hits apiece. Each of them had a run batted in, with Henry hitting a double. Robinson scored twice and Henry scored once, and it would ultimately be Pleasant Valley who gets the 11-8 victory on the road. Gracie Huckabee went 3 for 4 with a double and drove in 2 runners as Randolph County took a win over Sachs. Huckabee also scored once in the win. Tally Sims finished with 2 hits, 1 a double, and scored once. Brantley Wortham and Lizzie Milam each scored twice and drew 2 walks, with Wortham also driving in a run. Sachs boys and girls both got dominated last night as Randolph County wins 11-1. And then the final game from last night was Southside and Oxford. Ava Ramsey went 3 for 4 with 4 runs batted in and 3 runs as Southside took a 5-inning win against Oxford. Ramsey hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 4th to give Southside a 10-run lead. 5 other Panthers, Katie Barbie, Jovi Marble, Peyton Burrell, J.C. Brooks, and Rylan Shaw, each had 2 hits each in the win, with Katie Barbie driving in 2 runs for Southside as the Panthers beat Oxford 13-3. And that's it for EAN Local Sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for the update, Namath, and we thank you for watching today.
You can find us here online every weekday on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and on our website. Go to the platform of your choice and watch our news, sports, and weather content whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll see you back here Thursday for your news on your schedule.